Hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome to another Planet Zoo video. We've got some beta information, less than a week until it drops. They finally filled us in with some details about what we can expect. It came with this pretty awesome video, some gorgeous shots of the levels that we're going to have and the animals we're going to get to play with, including 2 new animals. So we'll get those out the way first of all. Both come in pretty fleeting shots, the first being the Gems Bok. This is an African ungulate and pretty much, well, not really confirmed since the beginning, but it's been turning up in sort of concept art and box art and stuff since way back, so we all kind of knew it was coming at some point, but it's nice to have it confirmed. It's another nice option for your sort of savanna, safari kind of areas. And also a very fleeting look at the African buffalo there. Another African animal, I think somebody on Reddit said this best. It looks like they're aiming towards the base game, kind of covering Africa with the most detail, with a view to probably look at doing DLCs from different areas. So although we do have some North American animals and South American animals and sort of Asian animals, it does look like maybe we'll get sort of those fleshed out more in later expansions or DLCs, which kind of makes sense. For a lot of people, the African animals, the big 5, the big cats, all that kind of thing, although a lot of the cats are Asian, they kind of tick a lot of boxes for people, especially the sort of savanna animals, so kind of makes sense that they focus on those, but that's another one. I would have maybe liked to have seen an American buffalo there, but that's okay. African buffalo looking gorgeous, big majestic horns there. Also the Indian elephant, we've known about the Indian elephant, but I think this might be the first time we've actually seen it in game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I may be wrong, but I can't remember seeing the Indian elephant before. Maybe we have like a little screenshot or something. But otherwise, yeah, they're all looking good. The most information here actually comes from a blog post, a forum post, that came along with it that gives us loads of information. So I'm going to dive through this as quick as I can. I will put a link to the post in the description for you to have a read through the whole thing if you want to. But here are the cliff notes, okay? So it's going to be available to play by 4 PM British time on the 24th, hopefully. So obviously, it could come earlier, it could come later, but they're trying to aim for a 4 PM British time on Sunday, on Tuesday? Oh, what day is it? No, yeah, Tuesday the 24th. Lost my mind for a moment there. And it's going to run till around about 5 PM on the 8th of October. There's going to be no preloading, but it's only 10 gigabytes, so that's not that huge in the grand scheme of things these days. Should be quite a quick download. You're going to be able to get to play the first scenario of the career mode. Now, that's the one that we saw at Gamescom. That's the one with Bernie and his helpers looking after the zoo with the bears that break out and the hippos that die, basically. That's that one, I'm pretty sure. So there's going to be no other scenarios available because they don't want to ruin the story, they've said. So that one's going to be basically act as a tutorial. It's going to be in the temperate biome with loads of objectives, but when the objectives are completed, when you've done all that you have to do, you can carry on playing that as free play and just kind of rip it all to shreds and start over if you want to, or just keep working on it. So there's that. You're also going to be able to access the franchise mode. This is the economy mode that doesn't have any narratives and objectives, but does have money to deal with, and you are able to swap animals between people on the animal market through Steam Workshop. So that's going to be integrated into the beta. You're going to be able to transfer animals across. And that is starting with an empty map as well. So we've got the Savannah biome empty map. So basically not quite sandbox. There's going to be money focus there. But really, do a free-for-all. And then also scenario 1 is going to be the temperate biome where you can carry on building Bernie's zoo. There's also going to be a host of previously announced animals as well as some new species to discover. Interesting there, they say a host of the announced animals, and later on we'll talk about that. Staff types, buildings, themes, rides, research options, the in-game Zoopedia, and habitat blueprints. Okay, so all pretty standard stuff as you'd expect. Here's a really interesting thing though, habitat blueprints. We've made an upgrade to the blueprints you may know from the Planet Coaster system. Now when you select your blueprint, you will be able to include any terrain that you've put around it as well. Now, this is huge, to be honest with you. This is something I mentioned way back in one of my very earliest Planet Zoo videos. I did wonder how they would use terrain in blueprints, because terrain is, a big part of an exhibit, and most of the exhibit, to be honest with you, as far as it goes together. So I did wonder how maybe they were just using the blueprints for buildings and things like that. But no, apparently they've managed to take the terrain over. How that works, I don't know. I'm very excited to see that, because that makes things really exciting. That kind of makes the possibility of literally going onto the workshop and saying, I want a Gharial exhibit, click it, place it down, it's ready to go. So that's, yeah, exciting stuff to see that one work. And then a host of enrichment, habitat building, scenery, and foliage pieces. Okay, so the Steam Workshop will be activated during the beta, which means you can upload and share any in-game blueprints you create, although they cannot guarantee to support the blueprints after launch, as there may be a little bit of code they have to fiddle with there that breaks them. If I remember rightly, that's exactly how it worked with Planet Coaster. I think they did carry over, but they always put that warning in there that they may not, so do bear that in mind. Also, save files, I don't believe, are going to be carried over as well, so treat the beta as a burner, mess around with it, do what you want to do, figure out what you're going to be doing for the base game, but don't start any huge projects, because they will not carry over. So there's the little list here of what's not available. That one, saved games there, being one of them. Saved games will be invalidated upon launch. Sandbox mode is not in the game, however you can replay both the maps they provide as often as you like, with all of the in-game mechanics and economies available. The deluxe animals won't be included in the beta, even if you've bought the deluxe edition. Oh, of course, you bought the deluxe edition because you're playing beta. So that's the Komodo dragon, the pygmy hippopotamus, and Thompson's gazelle won't be in the beta. Interestingly, they've already said that as well as some other already announced animals won't be in the beta. So previously they have said that everything they've announced so far, animal-wise, will be in the beta. They're now saying that some of them won't be. I can only assume that they're having some animation issues with some of them, and they're just having to, bake them a little longer, cook them a little longer before they're ready. Hopefully there's not any major gaps there from people, and we've got a good chunk of them in the beta to mess around with. It just says that there is a wide selection of animals, with the rest being available on launch. And the other thing that's not available is the full career mode. You're only going to be able to play Scenario 1. What's up? Oh, that's the baby? What's the baby doing? Oh, okay, bye. Just walks off. Okay, so there's also a load of activities that they've got going on for the beta, different competitions and stuff as well. So again, I'll very quickly run through these for you, but check out the forum post for more information. They're doing a creative competition through the beta. They're going to be, build this, and if it's a really good one, you can win stuff. There's a community goal. They've mentioned this a little bit with franchise mode, so this is most likely going to be something like, give birth to 1,000 ostriches as a community. They've put that there's no reward at the end of this, but it will give you an idea of some of the ones they're going to be doing once the game is released. The fact there's no reward seems a little silly. There's no reason why they couldn't have locked one of the animals behind it, because there's no way we're not going to complete the task. So, but yeah, there you go. There's going to be streamers at TwitchCon playing this build of the beta. There's a World Animal Day on the 4th of October, so they're going to have some exciting things planned, prizes and stuff, I imagine, for that. There's going to be some in-house streams on the 5th and 6th of October, where they're going to be streaming from the Frontier office. It's exciting stuff. And then there's going to be loads of giveaways throughout as well. So loads going on over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, this channel is going to be covering every little bit of it. Lots of plans for the channel. We're going to be playing through the campaign level. We're going to be going into the franchise mode. We're going to see how that works. We're going to be just messing around with different exhibits. We're also going to try and get some of our Zoo School episodes out throughout the beta as well. I do know that we're going to be a little bit limited in what we're allowed to build and what we're allowed to play with, as far as themes and stuff that are in the game. But I do think, I've got 50 of these episodes to make. If I do one a week, it's going to take a year to do all the Zoo School stuff. So I really want to try and hit the ground running with that. The first one is going to be the Bengal tiger. So our first exhibit is going to be a tiger exhibit. That has been voted for by Patreons. So if you are willing to and able and want to, you can head over to patreon.com/geekism and have your say. That vote is still up. so you can maybe try and shift it if you don't like the idea of doing a tiger straight away. But the second set of voting will be up in the next few days to plan what is coming next. Oh, getting all excited. Right, that's it then. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Very excited for the beta in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Oh, exciting stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.